mine too. This little bay right here, actually, let's call it a cove, because it's actually called Village Cove. That's a gated community. It has about 15 homes up in there. And the second house in, the big dark gray one with the white trim, that was actually Brian Wilson's very first home that he bought here on Lake Arrowhead. And who doesn't know who Brian Wilson is? The Beach Boys. Yeah. So the lake's actually a man-made lake. It's a pretty big lake for being a man-made lake. It's about 2.5 miles long. It's about 1.5 miles wide at its widest point. 17 miles of shoreline, 14 of which are actually hikeable if you live inside of the homeowners association that actually owns the lake now. And again, it's a man-made lake, so it's known as one of the deeper man-made lakes in California, coming in at 185 feet deep when it's completely full. These were the very first condominiums ever allowed to be built down here on the shoreline. These are known as the Edgewaters. They're a pretty basic 3-bedroom, 2-bath condo. The only plus is back in the 80s when you bought there, the very first people actually got a dock with it. Doesn't happen that way anymore. But back in 1983, you would have spent $38,000 on that. Yeah. Anybody want to guess how much they're going for today? $1.9 million. And that doesn't include your dock either. So. This is a man-made lake, so it would have followed the contour of these hills down into this valley. And in order to make it a clean lake like it is today, they actually had to come in and they had to log it out. And that was good because the Mormons, they were starting to settle right down at the bottom of what we now know as Highway 18. And they were in need of building materials. And so they actually had a small logging camp here on the lake before it was filled up. And this was the bay they had it in. This is called Orchard Bay. And it's kind of gray back there, but those trees that are in the very back of that bay, those are actually apple trees that the Mormons planted way back in the 1890s. And believe it or not, they still bear fruit to this day. tucked away in the back here has a great story to it. Back in the 50s and all the